From Colorado, and now killing his hometown team once again. Derek White with a career-high 36 tonight. And the Spurs, who led by as many as 20 late, win it by 10 to take a 2-1 series lead on the Denver Nuggets. It's Game Time presented by Kia. Welcome into our Atlanta World NBA TV headquarters. I'm Matt, Grant, Channing. That's Carlos over there. Good to have you with us. Derek White averaged just under 10 points a game during the regular season. He's in his second year in the league. He played his first 3 seasons of college ball at the Division II level. There was nobody predicting what we've seen so far on him. 3 really solid games and 1 truly spectacular offensive game tonight.
No, he was amazing. He's been amazing all series, and tonight he was even better. Obviously having a career high, cooking, did a great job of helping out LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan. He's taking pressure off those guys, and I think when you have guys doing that, the series is looking real good for the Spurs right now.
You know, the phrase X Factor gets tossed around too often on these sort of sets on television, but this is something that you just didn't see coming.
No, you didn't see it at all. And you know, we saw there in the first half double teaming, DeRozan double teaming Aldridge, but he's been taking advantage of it, attacking, being aggressive. Big night for the young fella.
This could be brief, so let's go live to Gregg Popovich.
Coach, what was your impression of Derek tonight?
He's okay. He's okay. I have to answer that question. You were at the game, right? He was obviously spectacular. I don't know what else to say. At both ends of the floor.
Coach, did you guys get a better performance from Rudy tonight across the board?
Yes. You know, Rudy was much more physical tonight. You know, he went to the board offensively. He attacked. He didn't settle. And we need that from him. He's got to add to our group. He's very important coming off the bench.
Have you been impressed with Jakob's play? Had another big night on the offensive boards.
You know, Jakob he's one of those, like a utility infielder in baseball. You know, he can do everything. At the defensive end, he's looking to rebound. At the offensive end, he's looking to rebound. He runs the floor. He sets good picks. He's unselfish, and you know, he's getting better and better offensively as the guys work with him.
Did you emphasize for the guys to be more aggressive in attacking the rim, and how important do you think that aggressive?
Well, every team is aggressive in the playoffs. You don't have to. You can just assume that everybody's trying to be aggressive.
Are you guys having more faith in Jakob? You didn't double as much the last 2 games. Are you just having faith that he can defend Jokic one-on-one?
Well, I mean, nobody's going to stop Nikola. Nobody's going to stop him. But he's such a great passer. You got to pick your poison. You know, if you start doubling him every place, they're going to knock down those threes, and they're great at it. So you just have to make some decisions in that regard and be kind of picky if you're going to go double. Thank you.
Is there a fingernail in this?
I told you that might be brief.
You were right.
Derek White, quote, obviously spectacular, in the words of Gregg Popovich. I want to talk about Denver for a minute because it's not like they played badly necessarily. Jokic had another really solid game, 31 assists, somebody just mentioned here on the set.
Yep.
But Jamal Murray, after that unbelievable fourth quarter the other night, pretty quiet tonight. He only takes 6 shots. He only had 6 points. So that's really 11 out of the 12 quarters so far in this series where he's not been Jamal Murray.
Now, at that point, you say, is that Jamal Murray, or you say, is that the Spurs defense?
Right.
You know, are they throwing different things at him? I've been in different situations in the playoffs where I'm like, I don't know who's guarding me, where my shots are going to come from. They're mixing it up. It was actually versus Spurs. Popovich is doing a good job of throwing different people at him, playing to his weaknesses, and making him do things that he's not. And I just want to put this on there. Derek White not only played a great game, he had 1 turnover, 5 assists in 33 minutes, and he had 36 points on 21 shots.
Yeah.
That's amazing. He took his opportunity and his hard work that he's been working all season, and he made sure he took advantage of this opportunity that he has right now.
No, it was spectacular. And what I liked is he stuck to what he does. He didn't try to, he didn't shoot a lot of threes. He was attacking those closeouts. We talked earlier about the double teaming of DeRozan and Aldridge. And as you swing the ball, instead of settling, he attacked, got into the paint, was really able to get them as they were shifting their defense and was effective at the rim pretty much all game.
1-3 on 36 points.
Which is amazing.
1-3.
And went to the line. They didn't go to the line that many times either, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. So his aggressiveness, his attacking off the bounce, getting to the rim, high, efficient shot. That third player, that X factor, as you talked about, certainly stepped up and was that for the Spurs tonight.
Turnovers and free throws were big factors tonight for both. Spurs were plus 14 from the free throw line. They only turned it over 6 times while racking up 22 points off the relatively modest 13 turnovers that they forced for Denver.
Yeah, and also for the Spurs, 62 points in the paint in the playoff game, that's a huge number.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a recipe for success right there. They also had 18 second chance points. Those add up as well. And on Denver's side, I'm looking at the stat. They really didn't play that bad. 52% from the three. They had 31 assists. Like that's a really good game. But I do feel like they need Murray to take them over the hump. Six shot attempts is not enough for him.
Yeah, Murray's that guy. He's a guy that can go get a basket for him. They feed off of him. As Boozer said, 50 poents off the bench. It's just everybody did what they needed to do. Yeah. Murray just wasn't on top of his game. And what was alarming is the shot attempts. Yeah. The other games, he got the shots up. Yeah. He talked 8 for 31, I believe, in those first 7 quarters of the first 2 games. But only 6 shots for your best player.
But when does him trying to push for himself interfere with the team? At what point do you say, you know what, I need to get off for us to win?
Right.
And I think that's his mentality. For me, I'm thinking, what does he think about right now? He had a great quarter. You come back, you're like, okay, let me get in this. I'm in a nice rhythm. And you go and shoot 6 shots. So now what is your game plan for the next game? A game that it's a must-win game.
I think that's also some experience. This is his first playoffs.
Right.
He'll realize how important he really is to that team.
Well, it's one of those, eternal questions in the NBA and the playoffs. When do you need to be aggressive? When do you need to dial it back here a little bit? They've had that conversation with Nikola Jokic over and over, and he seems to have arrived at a reasonable balance. 14 shots in this game after 15 in game 2, and his numbers look really good. The bench won their matchup. Remember, they came out in the second quarter and scored the first 16 points of the second quarter to take the lead. It was really the starters where the Spurs won this game. You see a lot of big plus-minus numbers on the Spurs side, and every Denver starter was at least minus 23, if not worse, all the way to minus 32 for Paul Millsap tonight. Interesting series, which will resume on Saturday with Game 4. Post-game coverage right now picks up with Mike Malone at the podium in San Antonio.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to speak to our trainers. I think he just got a knee in the thigh. I think he should be all right.
36 for Derek White tonight. Obviously, did a lot of his damage inside. Just what gave you guys issues stopping him tonight?
Exactly that. We couldn't stop them. I mean, they had 62 points in their paint. We gave up 16 blow-bys, just one-on-one containment, not game plan, nothing. It was just the ability to guard one-on-one, or the lack of the ability to guard one-on-one. He was impressive from Jump Street. He attacked. He got wherever he wanted. He finished. He was into us defensively. That was a hell of a performance for a young player.
Well, Coach, when you saw you guys shooting 51, like 50% on both of your field goals and three-point shots, how pleased are you with you guys shooting tonight?
Great. We shot it great. We got our ass kicked, because we couldn't guard anybody. You can't go on the road, give up 62 in the paint. You can't go on the road and give up 22 points off turnovers, and you can't get dominated on the glass and give up 18 points on second chance. So if you give up 40 points on turnovers and second chance points, it's going to make for a long night. The score is not indicative of the game. It was a 20-point game. So our bench unit was great. Our starters struggled, and we'll have to watch some film and try to figure it out for Game 4.
It was close going into the fourth quarter, and then you guys seemed to unravel a little bit. How do you think you guys handled the hostile environment?
I think our bench did a good job, and our starters did a poor job. I mean, that was the MO of the whole game. Our bench unit saved us in that second quarter and the end of the first. Came out and played with some moxie, some toughness, some grit, and got us back into it. And unfortunately, our starters were never able to generate any kind of a flow. So when you have the plus minus that all of our 5 starters have, it's going to make it really hard to win games. But give the bench credit. But once again, to me, really simple. Regular season, we were one of the better rebounding teams in the NBA. We have not won the rebounding battle once in 3 games. We've got to take the fight to them. We have to hit first. Right now, 16 offensive rebounds, and they shot 49 from the field. So when they did miss, it seemed like they got every damn rebound. So they had a hit-first mentality. We were counter punches tonight, and that can't happen.
You, over here, this starting unit helped you win 54 games.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to consider making a change there? And I'm obviously asking Malik getting more minutes.
Yeah, whether it's a lineup change or, just, getting guys into the game quicker, which is probably what I'd lean to right now. To your point, this group has helped us win 54 games. And if I have to get guys in the game earlier because they're playing at a higher level, I'll do so. Coaching's never personal. This is all about trying to find the best group that can go out there and help us win a game. And, we got some guys struggling right now. And it's my job to help those guys who are struggling, but also to find the right unit and lineup that can hopefully help us win Game 4 and go home tied up.
Kind of along those lines, though, you had to go away from Will pretty early in the third quarter. Does that mess things up rotation-wise when you have to go away from a starter that early in the third quarter?
I got Will and Jamal out at the same time. They came out in that third quarter, and things were not going our way. Turnovers, poor defense. So I got Monte and Malik Beasley in the game, and they played well tonight, both of those guys. But now what you wind up doing is you stretch guys' minutes. Malik Beasley played 27 minutes tonight, and he played really well. He's playing well in this series. So, but we got young guys. If they're called upon to play extended minutes, I know they're capable of doing so.
Coach, that bench unit you mentioned made a run the first half and a run in the second half as well. What did you see just from that group of 5 guys during those 2 spurts that maybe you didn't see from the starters?
Well, Monte goes out there and gives you 10 points, 7 assists, only 1 turnover. So they took care of the ball. They made shots, and they defended. It's a fairly simple game, right? You take care of it, you make shots, and you defend on the other end and rebound, you'll have a chance to play. I think the start of that second quarter was a 16-0 run. And it was Mason, Torrey, Malik, Jamal, and Monte, and they played fantastic on both ends. But it was just inconsistent. I think at halftime they were shooting 44%. Second half they shot 55 in third and fourth quarter combined. So the reason the bench was effective is because they took care of the ball a lot better than the starters did. They made more shots, and then they defended.
We all know you have a young group, and the NBA playoffs are a tough teacher. Mm-hmm. Tonight, was inexperience a factor, an excuse, any of that?
I don't like to make excuses, as you guys know in Denver, but I also think it's a reality. When you're the 8th youngest playoff team in the history of the NBA, that's real. That's not something I'm conjuring up. That's the facts. And for this to be our first road game, there's no doubt in my mind that Derek White, the last couple of days, has been reminded about Jamal Murray's fourth quarter performance. Derek White came out like he hadn't eaten in 2 days. He came out hungry. He came out pissed off, and he sent a very loud and clear message. Now, I'm anxious to see our guys, how do we respond to that? Where is your pride? Where's your toughness? Where's your grit? So Game 4 is going to be really like a great insight into who we are as a team, especially our young players, especially Jamal Murray. Great fourth quarter. We win the game in Game 2. Well, he's going to learn as a young kid, it can't be just one quarter. It's got to be every night if you want to be a really good basketball player, especially in the playoffs. And that's going to be part of his development and a part of his maturation, and I have to help him with that.
What is the number one thing Jamal needs to do to tilt that matchup more in his favor? Is it offensively scoring like he did in that fourth quarter? Is it keeping Derek in front of him? What's the thing?
Yeah, it's defense. Derek White dominated the game tonight. 36 points, a 15 of 21 from the field, and a large majority of those 36 coming in the paint. So I think Jamal, first and foremost, has to take a lot more pride in his ability to guard and contain and make Derek White feel him. Derek White did not feel us tonight. I mean, that's the thing that I take away without having watched the film, Adam. He did not feel us, they did not feel us, and we felt them for 48. Big difference. They were the more physical team, and that's why they kicked our butt.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Mike Malone not mincing words, critical of his team and their loss. DeMar DeRozan and the Spurs take a 2-1 lead halfway to the second round.